Hey everybody, it's your girl Angel coming to you with a really quick video because I am going to be going live in about half an hour. So hopefully I can get this done in about 20 minutes. What I wanted to come to you and talk about today was something happened to me, and I felt like I had a breakthrough over the weekend. Although it's been sort of building up over the last couple months, it actually boiled over, I guess, over the weekend, if you will. And so, just to give you a little bit of my backstory, prior to joining Paparazzi in August of 2017, I worked for a large insurance company. I was actually a district manager, which basically meant I ran an office of several agents, administrative, and different things like that. I started in the Fort Worth, Texas office, and I was an agent for 3 years. Then, when I took the opportunity to go into management and I was a staff manager, I went to the Dallas office for 2 years. And then, when I got the opportunity to be a district manager, the company actually moved me and my husband from Texas to Kansas City, Missouri. So, at the time, me and him discussed, going to Kansas City, and we both agreed that, we'll, take this opportunity. And we also, me and him are from Illinois. So, in our mind, it was like, okay, we're just going back to the Midwest. We're used to the weather, stuff like that, even though we hadn't lived in Illinois in years. However, I got to Kansas City, and I got there ahead of him. I got there in the last week of June of 2016, because they needed me there to go ahead and start working. And then the company moved, packed up, the movers came and packed up all of our stuff like the last week of July. And so by the beginning of August, he was in Kansas City because I had found a place to live, so on and so forth. Anywho, to make a long story short, Kansas City was hell. And that's the only way I could really describe it. Although we had been there to visit because my husband actually has family there, his stepfather and that whole side of the family, pretty much, they're from Illinois, but they live in Kansas City. So we had family there. So we were like, okay, well, at least we'll know people and different things like that. But as far as the work situation, it was literally hell. Although I was working for the same insurance company, it was like I was working for a whole different entity or something. That office was completely out of order. And I don't want to talk bad about my company because at the end of the day, it was an opportunity and nobody put as you will, a gun to my head and made me take it. But it was literally miserable. I was literally miserable. And then my husband didn't really care for Kansas City either because although he was able to find a job there, they didn't pay as much as they do here in Texas. So it was just a sort of a, whatever. So anywho, so working the job, I worked probably harder and more than I ever had in my life because the very first month, well, actually really the first week, but within the first month, I lost a staff manager. I had to basically fire a staff manager, and a couple other agents left. So now I have areas that were not with agents, So in the state of Missouri, in order to sell insurance, you have to be fully licensed. Like some states will let you work on a temporary license until your license comes through or whatever. In Missouri, you have to study, take your test, pass it, and be licensed. And we had to actually have our life license as well as property and casualty in Missouri. So it was two licenses that people would have to come in and study for before I could even put them out to work, at all. So anywho, it was very challenging, very challenging, very challenging. Then I feel like it was December of 2016, my immediate supervisor, my regional supervisor, resigned from the company. I was really shocked because this person had been there for a while and I didn't know the circumstances or whatnot, but she resigned and me and her were fairly close, whatnot. So, I was, like a little concerned, but not too concerned. So we got a new regional vice president and with this insurance company, I guess, people can sort of move around and put people who they like, and I shouldn't say who they like, but who they want to be in that position. So in May of 2017, my regional vice president at the time and his boss came to Kansas City and basically told me, didn't ask me, okay, said, hey, we got a position available in Dallas. Now, mind you, I want to get the heck up out of Kansas City, so my ears is wide open. But, you know, we want to, you know, get out of Kansas City. So they were offering me a position back in Dallas. I was like, okay, awesome, great, yeah. And they were moving us back because normally, although I would have been taking a step down, I was still in management, but I took a step down. They normally don't move you back, okay? But I think with everything that had been going on, you know, and just the whole circumstance, they felt the need, hey, you know, we're going to go ahead and pack your stuff up for you, spend this $20,000 and get you back to Texas. I was like, thank you, Jesus, okay? So, of course, my husband was happy. We was like, sayonara, Kansas City, okay? So I got back to Dallas, and I started working back in my old Dallas office, you know, and I think that I thought that just getting back to Dallas, hey, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. I'm going to continue to thrive. I have been a very great leader through the years. So, hey, everything is going to be back to normal. Wrong. What I realized is that Kansas City and that whole situation had literally drained me. Like, drained me to a point where I could not give anything else. It didn't matter that I was in a different city. Didn't matter if I was in a different state. Didn't matter. I was drained. And so with that being the case, I, you know, would go to work and they would like, I was literally feeling sick. And then I'm a disabled veteran, so I would go to my, you know, VA appointments, and my doctor said, your blood pressure is high. I never have high blood pressure, you know, never. My blood pressure has always been sort of in the normal range. So that was scary. And because, you know, in 2007, my mom, she passed, she had a stroke. And, you know, I equated it to, of course, she had some health issues, but stress. And I just was like so stressed out every time I walked into the office. I realized that I was not going to be able to do this no more. So in July of 2017, I actually was invited to a paparazzi home party. Had never heard of paparazzi, anything like that. So I went to the party and met the young lady, the consultant, and all this stuff. And, you know, we exchanged information and whatnot. And went on about my way. August, I decided, you know, hey, I had enough. This is making me sick. I'm not feeling good coming into the office. It was just like I felt so done because in less than a year, me and my husband had uprooted our whole household 2 times. And that's a big thing. You know, he had to uproot his job. You know, he left a job in Dallas to go to Kansas City. Now he had to leave a job in Kansas City to come back to Dallas. It was really like a trying time for us, you know. And so, nonetheless, you know, I just told him, I said, I'm not going to be able to do it. I just not going to be able to do it. You know, one thing I say, you know, I've learned a lot from my mom, and one thing I learned from her is you always put up for a rainy day. You always put something back for a rainy day, whether it's a 401k, whether it's just a regular savings, whatever it is, because if you ever have to make a move, you need to be able to make that move. And so thankfully, I took those pearls of wisdom and I decided to leave, you know, my last job. Then a week later, I contacted the young lady and I joined Paparazzi. So with all that being the case, what I thought was, okay, now I'm done with that job, I should be feeling better, right? Wrong. When you are mentally drained, it's like it tires you out. You cannot even function, you know, and that's not me, because I'm pretty much, you know, I'm a go-getter. You know, I'm pretty, you know, energetic for the most part. I can sort of get up and go, and or you just do what you got to do, you know. But I just didn't have energy to do anything. So for 2 months, from August to October, I didn't even look for another job. I mean, when I left that job, I expected to, probably do paparazzi sort of part-time and I'll eventually find another job. Well, I didn't even look for another job for 2 months, okay? So when I finally did get a job, the job I got was still in insurance, but it was using the health side of my license, not the life side. And it was dealing with the Medicare season. And so I knew that this job was going to be a temporary, contract because it's just through the Medicare season. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do this. During that time frame, I did work paparazzi, but it was like part-time. I just, take a little to work, sell a little here, sell a little there. Didn't really put a whole lot of energy into it. So once that contract ended in January of 2018, I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and, try to do paparazzi, a little further. So I prayed that, Lord, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, to show me signs or whatever, Now, mind you, I had no desire, nothing to lead or anything like that. I'm just saying within my own business, Lord, give me the sign to hey, say go further. Hold on, y'all. Hey, honey. Hi. My husband just got home. I'm doing a video. So anywho, hey. So anyway, where was I? Okay, so I had no desire, but I prayed, that if this is the business I'm supposed to be in, Lord, reveal some things to me. So unbeknownst to me, he said, oh, you're going to be a leader. Okay. Like I said, I didn't want to lead nobody. I didn't want to do anything but focus on Angel, okay? So, anywho, I got an email one day, and it said, you have a new team member. And I'm like, I didn't enroll nobody, right? So, when I checked my back office, sure enough, it showed that I had a new consultant under me. And I didn't know this young lady or anything like that. So the first thought I had was she probably put the wrong consultant ID number in and she's supposed to be under somebody else. Is this what I was thinking, right? And so I called her. I think I texted her something first, and then we got to talking, however it was. And sure enough, she signed up under Angel Clemens, me, okay? So I asked her, I said, well, what made you choose me? Because we're in Dallas area, so I know there's plenty of consultants in the Dallas area. And she said it was because of your picture on your profile. And now, mind you, at this point of time, which was in March, I had been with the company 7 months, I believe. And I had the same picture, but a week before she signed up with me, I changed my picture because someone who I knew had a salon, and I would set up in her salon, and I just did like a little selfie with my jewelry in the background type of thing, and I posted that picture on my paparazzi page. So literally within a week, maybe even a couple days of her seeing my picture, I had just changed that picture. So I was like, okay, God, because if that's what made her pick me, then it was just sort of ironic that I changed my picture after 7 months, okay? So then I was like, okay, so I talked to her and we talked, and I let her know, hey, I don't know everything, you're my first consultant up under me, but whatever you need, I'll try to answer as best as I can. And also, I got her in some groups so that if there was anything that she had to know or needed to know that I couldn't answer, the women in these groups were probably more than willing to help out. You ask a question in the group, everybody responds, or so many people respond. It's like really, supportive. So that happened. So then in April, I, started getting my inventory up and different things like that, but shipping was really slow. So I started watching a lot of YouTube videos. And one of the videos I seen was Michelle Johnny and I think her name is Mariana Barnett. I think it's Garnett. Anyway, Michelle was talking to her about her experience and, becoming elite in different things with paparazzi and how she, grew her team and everything. And so one of the things she said, I send out 25 messages a day to people, and pretty much my message is, hey girl, you should sell jewelry with me. So I was thinking, like, really? That's all you do? That's all you do? Mariana, that's all you do? But it sounded so simple that I was like, that can't be it, right? So anyway, I said, I'm going to try it. So I did 10 people that day. And a few people responded back. And so then in May, I got a text message or inbox from my Facebook from a young lady that I knew over 35 years ago from Springfield, Illinois, which is where I'm from. And we've known each other for years, but we had not talked in over 30 years, like literally had a conversation or talked with our mouths, maybe just on Facebook, hey girl, how you doing type of thing. But anywho, she inboxed me and she said that she was at a yard sale and she met a paparazzi representative and they gave her a card and everything. And she just had some questions because she couldn't remember initially who did paparazzi, or she had seen it before or something. But then I had posted something on Facebook and she's like, oh, Angel does it, so let me call her. I know I can, trust her and she'll tell me what's up. So she called me and we talked and I gave her the information. She asked some questions and we hung up, and I didn't know one way or another which way she was going to go, as far as joining or not joining. The next day I got a text message, hey, I joined. And then all of a sudden I see on my email, you have a new team member. I was like, okay, God, so you're trying to show me some things? So, and that was just because she had seen me posting stuff, because I had started posting more. And then my third person actually signed up yesterday, which was Mother's Day. And she was one that I sent that text to, hey girl, you should sell jewelry with me. And we had been sort of missing each other because she works a lot. She has another job or whatever. And so she finally called me on Mother's Day and we talked, and she's like, well, girl, I'm at work. I can't talk long. Angel, I trust you. I'm going to send you my information. Go ahead and sign me up. I was like, wow, once again, this is another young lady who I have not talked to in over 20 or 30 years. And so with that being the case, it just let me realize that, okay, that prayer that I prayed back in March, the Lord was starting to show me some things, and he was starting to put people in my path. And like I say, seeing that video with Michelle and Mariana just really let me know that that video, I saw that video for a reason. And so nonetheless, I, am now at 3 personally sponsored consultants, which is not, a lot in the grand scheme of things. But for me, it was a milestone, because had this happened any other time, I would have been like, I ain't trying to lead nobody. But I went through a season of what I would consider winter season, not the literal months of December and January type winter, but through a season. We all go through seasons in our life. And one of my girlfriends, she's in ministry school, and she was talking about the 4 seasons of life. And I feel like I just came out of my winter and now I'm going into my spring, because I'm planting seeds and I'm starting to see little buds come up and stuff like that. And what I mean by that is people are starting to respond to me more. I'm doing more things online and different things. And, I just claim that in another year, you looking at elite status, baby, okay? And I'm claiming that my team will do well, $5 Bling Brigade. And so I just wanted to bring that video to you all, just to give you a little bit more insight about me and who I am and everything. I know I've done a video about who I am before, but this one was just like a confirmation or a revelation, if you will, that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And thanks to paparazzi, I'm back. So anyway, if you're interested in joining a team, you can always inbox me your information or email me your information. I'll have my email address in the link below, and I hope to hear from you. And as always, please like and subscribe this video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.